We're grateful to my good friend, Ray Suarez, for hosting our program tonight. As Ray noted, the world is a very different place, a much more dangerous place than the last time we were together. And at home, America is ever more deeply divided. But Eisenhower Fellows have never stopped doing what they do, coming together to forge understanding and make a positive impact in our world. In this spring's class of Global Fellows alone, we're proud to have Eisenhower Fellows from both India and Pakistan, and from China and Taiwan. They've become very close friends. It's beautiful to see. Working together, these ascendant leaders from lands historically riven by conflict, they embody the ethos of Eisenhower Fellowships, reflecting the vision of our namesake, President Dwight D. Eisenhower. President Eisenhower believed that if people could just sit down and talk with one another, they might not wind up shooting at each other. Our Eisenhower Fellows and scholars embody his yearning for a world where dialogue leads to understanding, helping confrontation give way to cooperation. Tonight, we celebrate our fellows and their inspiring impact across the globe. With us, we have Eisenhower Fellows from nearly 30 countries. They're here to help us recognize two extraordinary Eisenhower Fellows from Africa, one of them posthumously, leaders among our influential network of leaders around the world. Joining our fellows are two classes of our younger Eisenhower Global Scholars, exceptional American college students we send to Europe each year to earn master's degrees in public policy or international relations at the University of Oxford and IE University of Madrid. The Global Scholars Program is an exciting new dimension of our work. Now it's entering its 6th year to expose more young Americans to the world beyond our shores and extend the legacy of President Eisenhower to a new generation. I'd like to take a moment and ask all our Eisenhower Fellows and scholars gathered here tonight, please stand for a moment. They're the reason we're here. And as Ray said, they do inspire hope for the future. In addition to celebrating our fellows, tonight we also honor one of the world's most generous, remarkable philanthropists, a man who rose from humble working class origins to achieve unimaginable financial success. In gratitude, David Rubenstein has devoted the rest of his life to figure out how best to give away his formidable fortune to make this a better world. Welcome, sir. These are your people. Joining David and our fellows and scholars tonight are the distinguished members of our Board of Trustees, led by our chairman, former U.S. Secretary of Defense, Dr. Robert M. Gates, here with Mrs. Gates. Welcome both. With us are our vice chair, former Governor Christine Todd Whitman, and the chair of our executive committee, Matt Manders, here with his wife, Amy. Our trustees have come to Philadelphia today for their annual meeting from across the country and around the world, from London and Istanbul, Singapore, and the Persian Gulf. We're deeply grateful to all our trustees, to our sponsors for tonight's dinner, and to all our friends and donors for their magnificent support that makes our work possible, especially the members of our President's Circle, our most generous contributors. You can see them up on the screen behind me. The members of our President's Circle comprise a special roll of honor at EF. Each contributed more than $100,000 over the last year, some of them much more. We salute their leadership, their generosity, and their example. Thank you. We want to take a minute and welcome some special friends here with us this evening. Poland's ambassador to the United States, our very own Eisenhower Fellow, Bogdan Klich, here with his wife, Anna. Welcome. And from the home team, former U.S. Ambassador Francis Cook. Welcome, Madam Ambassador. With us tonight from Vietnam, one of our two Distinguished Fellow Award co-recipients last year, Tao Griffiths, here with her son Liam. Also with us again is our 2023 Distinguished Fellow Award winner from Romania, Irina Angel Enescu. Welcome back home, my friends. We have a bit of Camelot in the house tonight. From New York and Chicago, we welcome Jillian and Juliet Sorensen, the wife and daughter, respectively, of the late Theodore Sorensen. President John F. Kennedy's legendary White House speechwriter and one of his closest advisors. Ted Sorensen, everybody knows, wrote JFK's Pulitzer Prize-winning book, Profiles in Courage, and his famous Ask Not What Your Country Can Do for You inaugural address. Later, he wrote a bestseller biography, Kennedy, and 7 other books, and was a mentor to our honoree tonight, David Rubenstein. As we welcome the Sorensens this evening, we're honored to be joined by members of the Eisenhower family, strong supporters of this organization they hold close to their heart. With us are Susan Eisenhower, granddaughter of President Eisenhower, and Camila and Nico Mendoza, his great-great-grandchildren. Nico's on the clock tonight. He's the fabulous young staff director of our USA Fellowship programs. And we're going to hear so he's working for his dinner this evening. And we're going to get to hear from Susan later tonight. Finally, our gathering is graced by the presence of the cultural ambassador of Eisenhower Fellowships, my way better half, my beautiful wife, Carrie. She just flew from Chicago. She just flew here from Chicago, where she recently completed filming season 4 of the hit FX Plus TV show, The Bear, that she produces. So good to see you, Carrie. We're thrilled to see all of our many friends tonight from all over the country and our fellows from around the world. Too many to mention you all, but you know who you are. We're gathered at the busiest time of the year for us. Tomorrow we send back home our amazing 2025 Global Fellows and 2024 USA and Zhixing China Fellows and Global Scholars, who all marked the formal end of their programs with their pin ceremony last night. Next month, we send off to China this year's Zhixing Fellows, 10 ascendant American leaders who will spend a month immersing themselves in Chinese society and culture. This fall, we will welcome to the U.S. Eisenhower Fellows from Southeast Asia, our first program dedicated to ASEAN nations since 2013. And in November, we'll celebrate again the work of our fellows with the presentation of the 2025 Hovey Award, the annual James and Carol Hovey EF Impact Award, recognizing outstanding project achievement to drive positive impact. So we have an awful lot going on. In today's angry, anxious world, the mission and core principles of Eisenhower Fellowships remain unchanged. They guide and illuminate our work as an independent, non-governmental, nonpartisan nonprofit, the world's premier international leadership exchange organization. Eisenhower Fellows build bridges of understanding and trust across borders and cultures, just as they have for more than 7 decades. That is what we do. That is who we are. By coincidence, 70 years ago tonight, on May 14th, 1955, my parents were married in their native Havana. Later that year, they came to the United States, young and penniless, not speaking the language, fleeing dictator Fulgencio Batista in Cuba, to seek a better life in this country that they admired so much. They're both gone now, and they never got to see or experience the magic of Eisenhower Fellowships, but they would have recognized the spirit and ethos of this place instantly. Eisenhower Fellowships presents the best face of America to the world, the big-hearted, compassionate America, the nation that for nearly 2.5 centuries has opened its arms and warmly embraced so many millions who have braved unbelievable hardships to come to this country. People like my humble parents, Paco and Sonia de Lama. I think of them tonight as we redouble our commitment to our mission, and I share with you my firm belief that this unique brand of citizen diplomacy that Eisenhower Fellows engage in across the world is more important and relevant today than ever. We deeply appreciate the financial support of our friends who make this possible. I thank you for your generosity and ask your help going forward. If you'd like to invest in our fabulous fellows and global scholars and their good works all over the world, please remember us in your giving this year. It's as simple as going to our website, www.efworld.org, and clicking on the donate button. Or you can click on the barcode on our annual report that's at your table. You can do it right from your cell phone. Your investment in our future is indispensable to everything we do as we honor those leaders who inspire us to do more. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. On behalf of everyone at Eisenhower Fellowships, we deeply appreciate your leadership. Thank you very much. Many years ago, when I was a young correspondent at the Chicago Tribune, I went to my first White House Correspondents' Dinner, an old ritual of Washington that has fallen on hard times. As my longtime colleague Jim O'Shea could tell you, the Tribune was known for always having one of the very best pre-dinner cocktail parties of the evening. and for that matter, a pretty good after party too. Well, the first time I went, I looked across the room and my jaw dropped. Standing in a corner, having a drink with some of the older correspondents in our Washington Bureau, was a tall, strapping guy with a very famous face. I remember thinking, damn, that looks just like Dwight Eisenhower, only he's 6'4". Turned out that guy was John Eisenhower, President Eisenhower's son, a formidable figure in his own right, an Army general, U.S. ambassador, military historian, author of 14 books. He was our guest to this event every year. He was just a wonderful guy, warm and funny, told great stories. He genuinely enjoyed the company of journalists, and the vice versa. I saw him regularly at the annual Correspondents' Dinner over the next 2 decades, and he always was unfailingly kind to me. Then I went on to other things and lost track of him, until I saw in December of 2013 that he had passed away. I was saddened when I read the news. I thought he was a really good guy. I didn't know anything about Eisenhower Fellowships then. Some headhunters from Boston would call me a couple months later. One thing led to another, and I joined EF that spring. When I got here, I saw that John Eisenhower's children, David and Susan Eisenhower, were trustees of EF. I didn't know them, but I separately wrote each of them a letter that said basically, we haven't met, but I knew your father, and he was very kind to me when I was a young reporter. Now I'm the new guy here, and I would love to get to know you and have you become more involved with our fellows. Now, I write a lot of letters in this job, but looking back, that's one of the most fortuitous letters I ever sent out here. Before long, David and Susan became deeply engaged with our fellows, meeting with them every spring and fall. Both David and Susan are major figures in their respective worlds, distinguished educators, experts in diverse fields, successful authors who have both written critically acclaimed books about their grandfather. For our fellows, they have been a continuous font of unique, incisive perspectives on leadership, American politics, U.S. history, and international relations. All of it woven together with warm personal stories about their grandfather, a legendary leader in our nation's history, a man whom they knew well and remembered tenderly. Susan just met with our Global Fellows in Washington last month. They left inspired by their session with her, as did I. For me, Susan's thoughtful guidance and continuous support and encouragement have been a great gift that I will cherish always from my time at EF.